It's the Blue Vote Cafe, a little bit wonkish, a whole lot of fun. I'm David Schellenberg along with Rachel Oyster in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Hello, Rachel.
Hello, David.
How are things over in your neck of the city?
Well, I know you want to talk about the snow.
Yeah, we got a little snowstorm going on.
Yes, I mean, you always love to talk about Winter Wonderland, and it is. We've got the classic fluffy December snow. Every tree is outlined in white. It's beautiful.
Yes, especially when you're at home looking at it out the window. And I mean, I'm in a condo in downtown and you're out in suburb land. So are you ready to go shovel some snow?
I am not in a suburb. I'm in an established downtown neighborhood. No, this is important.
Okay.
I'm in an urban neighborhood. But I did have a half-hour walk through the slush today. So yes, you're right. It's nicer when you can look at it through the windows.
All right, who's joining us today, Rachel?
Today we are joined by Jason Berlin, who founded Field Team 6. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you so much. That's so good to be here.
It's great to have you.
So jealous of your snow. I'm down in LA.
Well, that was our next question. Tell us where you are.
Yes.
And you did already.
Northeast LA. There's little to no snow here.
That is true. It would be pretty freakish if snow were to fall.
But LA is always one of those magical things where you can drive up into the mountains and see snow and then come down and sit on the beach, can't you?
That's true. It's beautiful. It's kind of weird. I'm from the East Coast, so it feels like you have to change the seasons manually here.
So where are you from in the East Coast?
New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, West Orange. It's
my mother grew up in East Orange.
Oh my God, like
I know.
Lauryn Hill.
Oh, I didn't know, but yeah.
Was your mother Lauryn Hill?
My mother was not. No, but I guess they share a hometown.
Very cool.
Yeah,
it's a good place to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Orange, Orange in New Jersey.
Orange, yes. Or you pronounce it, it's one syllable, orange.
Orange, yeah.
Orange.
Well, that's interesting and fun.
Yeah, I loved it. It really, really just, we could run around on the streets growing up, It was, little to no parental supervision. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like fun.
Yep.
And now you're in LA. So, but we didn't bring you here to talk about New Jersey, although it's important. We want to hear about Field Team 6. What is it? How did it come about? And what do you guys do?
Yes. Field Team 6, our stated mission is register Democrats, save the world. Mm-hmm. And of course, we keep it simple, 5 words. And that's the focus of everything we do. So we're the one and only proudly partisan voter registration organization that is registering Democrats in the swing states where just a few votes can swing an election all year, every year.
Right.
So you're not caring about all the other states, just the swing states?
We focus on 11 swing states in the 2024 cycle. And those are the states that will win it all, that will allow us to hold the White House, hold the Senate, which will be super tough, mm-hmm. and take back the House. Mm-hmm. However, we will help anyone in any state, wherever they are. We're here to help. So we have helps people register Democrats. And we do this through in-person drives and also digitally through email, postcards, text banks, phone banks. So we've helped people in Arkansas, in Mississippi, in New Jersey, Louisiana, all over the country.
Wow.
Yeah, besides the 11 swing states that we're focused on.
So you're the only proudly partisan organization registering Democrats. That's really interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are there proudly partisan organizations registering Republicans?
Republicans, when they turn 18, if it's in the middle of the night, they rise from bed and they walk out of their house and they get registered. They just it's a phenomenon that is Republicans just get registered.
Wow.
Automatically almost. Part of the reason is Democrats, we're the party who, tend to have 3 different jobs, or, we Democrats are more transient, move around more.
Yeah.
So there are more gaps in registration.
That's really interesting. I hadn't realized that.
Yeah. One thing that we do that is unique is this digital registration. We do it through it's a one-of-a-kind database that we developed in 2020 when COVID hit.
Uh-huh.
And COVID we were an all in-person voter drive organization. And when COVID hit, it shut us down completely. But
Right.
it seemed like a bad time to break up the band. So,
Yeah, you could say that.
with the biggest battle of all time coming up with the 2020 election. So we figured out how to go digital. We talked to the political data vendors, the biggest ones there are in America, Catalyst, Target Smart, Civitech, some other ones, and saved up money and bought our first list, which was a list of college students. And then our next list was Black women across the country, and then added Black men, added the Latino community, added same-sex marriage supporters, healthcare access supporters, purged voters, and even Trump defectors. And list by list, we built this curated database that is now have 9 million people in it who are unregistered and likely Democrats.
Right.
Well, I think that's incredible, but I'm stuck on this unregistered idea. You have a database of 9 million people who aren't registered, but your job is to get them registered.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
do they pass out of the database once they've been registered, or do you keep them in there and come back to them? I mean, what good is a 9 million person database of unregistered voters until you've brought them home?
Yeah, it's our secret weapon for outreach. So that's the basis of all our emails, phone calls, texts, postcards. That's how we know how to get to them. They stay in the database once they're registered. So the database in total is about 17 million people now.
Oh my God. Wow.
Because we've helped a whole bunch of them get registered, and then some have registered on their own.
Wow.
So we need to continually refresh it. We refresh it once a year, and we also buy new data throughout the year as we raise the money to do it.
Incredible.
Yeah. So I don't know of any other organization in the country that has a database specifically of unregistered people focusing on swing states across the country.
Wow.
The two biggest of our data vendors tell us that we are their number one customer in the country for data on unregistered people, which that's a nice thing to brag about, but that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That is interesting.
We've been around for 5 years. I'm proud of that. We're celebrating our 5th anniversary tomorrow, actually.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
When you say these vendors who say you're the biggest customer, you mean like the data purveyors you mentioned, like Catalyst and so forth? Or,
Yes.
Unbelievable. Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's their job.
That's their job. And also, someone should have been doing this for the last
No
20
kidding.
years, who's
No
not
kidding.
us and who's better funded.
Funded and supported. Yeah.
Right?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now, this is revolutionary. So I see now why Politics Girl, who joined us on our podcast as well, called you the secret weapon to end Trump and MAGA finally surging into the spotlight.
Yeah, Lee McGowan, she's the best.
She's amazing. She's
Love her.
amazing. Yeah, we do too.
She pitches us better than we do.
She's incredible. So you're 5 years old. All right. So what have you been, in addition to collecting 17 million names and converting them one by one into Democrats? Well, I guess I should ask, how are you doing it?
Yes. Well, we've had, just to clarify, 2.5 million is the number of Democrats we've helped register, Democratic voters, so Democrats and progressive independents. It's up to 2.5 million by the end of 22. So we've helped register more this past year, but we won't know what those results are until we crunch the numbers in the beginning of 24. We've raised the money to do that, and we compare our database, all the people we reached out to, against the currently updated voter rolls for all 50 states, and we see how many got registered and what party in the states that record party affiliation, and who voted in elections this year in 23.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you're going to have to explain for our global audience because I'm not entirely sure I understand it. So, like, I'm a dual U.S. Canadian citizen. I was born in the United States, but never really lived in the United States. So in Canada, there's a voters list, and you just walk up to your polling place, and they find your name on the pre-existing list that the government pulls together, and you vote. But when you say registering a Democrat, why do you have to register? Can't you just go vote?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and something that we take for granted here that we should be questioning. The whole necessity of registering people itself is voter suppression. Mm-hmm. Our organization should not have to exist.
Right. Right.
You
No,
should be, and it's been used as a tool of voter suppression. So since you do have to register, our goal is to make it as easy as possible to cut through any red tape there is and guide people through the process, in seconds or minutes, so that their voices can be counted. They can turn their voices into votes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you're not on this list, you just can't vote. So step one is to get on a list.
Well, I think it depends on the state, doesn't it? Some states might have same-day registration, but many others probably don't.
Correct. It is. Voter laws are maddeningly varied. There are no two states that are the same.
Right.
It's just a huge patchwork. It's different in every state, which is that's part of the insanity. So there does exist same-day voter registration in some states, but not many.
Yeah.
Including most of our swing states.
Right.
The swing states include. Can I list the 11? Is that too boring?
No.
No, do it. Can you do it backwards in alphabetical order?
I can do it in alphabetical order, probably backwards. Let me try. Okay, we got Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Montana, Michigan. I skipped Ohio. and we got Georgia, California, and Arizona.
Say 11. Wow. Yes, that's 11.
I'm really impressed. Well done. Wow, that's amazing. All right, so how many people are you?
We are only on paid staff 3, including me.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then we have between 100 and 120 volunteer staff who are amazing, super overqualified people who are just do insane amounts of work and allow us to act like a big organization.
Wow.
And that is just like 1,000 acts of love a day that hold us together. And then our volunteers nationwide are over 18,000 people have volunteered with us.
Oh my God.
So far. Yeah.
Incredible.
And the amount of work they get done is just, it's insane.
And it's largely just phoning these people on these lists that you purchase and saying, hi, you should register.
That's part of it. It is in-person voter drives. It's phone banks. It's text banks and postcarding. And now we've also added emails. So all of these things besides emails, you can do for free. We can set up for organizations for free, and we have them ongoing just through Field Team 6 every day. And
so you mean the volunteers can do them for free? Like they're not paying for the stamps to put on the postcards, in other words, or paying for long distance phone calls?
They actually do pay for postage. Postcarders do pay for their own postcards and postage. Okay. But as far as setting it up, saying, if an organization comes to us and says, we'd like to do postcarding into George Santos's former district. Let's say they have something against the inventor of electricity and they want and founding member of Aerosmith, and they want to turn that district blue. We set that up for free. We're actually setting that up right now.
Oh, I bet.
Anyway, just for all volunteers, because it will be popular and we need every Democrat we can get there. Absolutely. That is not at all a foregone conclusion that it flips blue. It's a toss-up district.
Right.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, which is why he got elected in the first place.
Right. So are you looking at things like which mode of communication works best with which demographics? Or are you just throwing everything at the wall that you can possibly get out there?
Oh, we're absolutely interested is a huge understatement in which modes work better for which demographics. That said, we know an all of the above approach works the best. And part of that is, if people get contacts in 2 or 3 different ways, if they get a postcard and a text and then see an email, they respond to that third one.
Yeah,
it's
we know
true.
that. We know from sales, but also from our own experience over the last 5 years that it takes 7 to 9 touches to move someone to register. Sometimes more. So
And I've heard there are studies showing that when you're trying to get people out of the house to go cast their vote, the more you actually get to the point where you irritate them, the higher the likelihood they're going to vote. And it won't change who they vote for. It just gets them out the door.
Right. And sometimes they say like, oh, too many times. You knocked one too many times. I'm voting for the other guy now. But it turns out that's
they
not
don't.
true.
No,
That's
they
not
don't.
true.
Very, very weird, but there you go.
And this big list of yours, does it have people living around the world on it, or is this all people who live in the United States?
It's only America. Yeah. We can't get lists, unfortunately, for people. At least we haven't figured out a way yet.
Oh, we'd love to figure out a way.
Oh my God, we would love to. We really would. Right now, what we've done on that point is we met over Zoom with Democrats abroad in Italy, and our amazing voter drive coach, Joanne Bolin, gave them a training on how to lead a voter drive on a college campus. And so we wound up doing joint voter drives with them on college campuses all over Rome, which is a
really
dream. Amazing.
That's
and
amazing.
there are lots of country committees in DA. You could do that with every single one of them.
We
You don't
would
have to
love
restrict yourselves to Italy.
all 130 of them. Yeah.
But I should say,
Get comfortable.
I should say the other thing you're doing to help get out the vote is that from your website, you do link to Democrats Abroad's votefromabroad.org, which is our nonpartisan, voter registration portal that we host for anybody living outside the country to get themselves registered.
Right. No, that's great. That's great. And so grateful for the work you do. There's so many voters abroad and Democrats abroad that we need to make sure they're all registered. We're trying to organize a training for multiple countries. It would be great to do a training for Europe, or for Asia, Africa, for all the Democrats abroad that we can get together on holding voter drives and just help however we possibly can.
Well, you may know we are organized into 3 regions. Europe is part of EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Okay.
And we've got AP, the Asia Pacific region, and then the other one is, surprise, the Americas.
Right.
But we do have, our structure does acknowledge those 3 regions of the world. So some collaboration following that structure might indeed be possible.
Yes, maybe that's how we do it. Yeah.
That'd be fabulous, yeah.
And what happens in these training sessions?
So Joe is terrific at going over how we run voter drives, and they're in a proudly partisan yet always respectful way. One of the biggest tricks that we use is just looking partisan. just wearing a liberal looking T-shirt it's so effective. Something that says Biden Harris or Democrats or Obama. Although even that might be dated with young people,
Could be.
who are just turning to 18. And that really acts as a super effective Republican repellent.
Oh, we're just sitting at a table in campus somewhere.
Yes, we're an anti-table organization. So I love tables. I'm using one right now. I'm a hypocrite.
You'll probably have dinner on one too.
Totally. No, guilty as charged. But at voter drives, we always counsel our volunteers and team leaders that you walk around with a clipboard and a smile and talk to everyone you possibly can. Coffee really helps with that, I find. If I have enough caffeine, I can't help but talk to strangers. And it's scary the first, three, 4, 5 times, and then you realize that no one's really paying attention to what you're saying. So, it kind of frees you up. And, by the end of the first voter drive, you have no respect for any norms of human behavior in a good way.
Yes, that's true. Sometimes all you want is just a little bit of acknowledgement, a little bit of a smile. Like at least you saw me, as opposed to looking the
Absolutely.
other direction and keeping on going.
Right. It helps.
That's
We
true.
try to get people's attention with, excuse me, can you help me save the world from Trump?
That's nice.
Something like that, really, it's because the whole thing, you just have to stop them for a second and then follow up, with an answer to their unspoken question. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
With, hey, I'm registering Democrats to vote. Can I register you right now?
Right.
And so we just try to make those connections. And yeah, most people will smile, walk on by. They may say, I actually voted for Trump, in which case we just say, hey, respect. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Give them surprise respect.
Yep. No, that's very effective. Yeah.
That's the other part of what we're out there. I mean, we're mainly out there to register Democrats, but the other thing that we're there to do is just humanize the process.
Right.
Show people we're not demonizing each other. We're human beings. If I can get a laugh out of a Republican, that's worth a lot to me.
For sure.
Absolutely. I also find too, you just never know what they will do when they finally are alone and put a check in a box. Like that's still a secret vote.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, and it helps, even if they're staunch Republicans, for them to see that Democrat in person is nice to them, is respectful.
Right.
Yeah.
We did a voter drive. Well, Ottawa has a big Pride event, and we had a table at that Pride event a couple of months ago, and so I know what you're saying about the T-shirts, because basically I wore a bright, huge T-shirt and just stood in the middle of the crowd and more or less tripped people as they tried to walk past me.
Perfect.
And David's not a small man.
No, I'm sort of big.
I probably come up to his waist.
But it's funny also when you're standing there as you hear people's conversations as they walk by, and a lot of them go, the Democrats are here. That's really weird.
Your instinct was perfect. The Pride events are the number one events, bar none, for registering new Democrats.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I was going with that question. So when you're out to find people, where are good places to go?
If there are Pride events, go there.
Yep.
Period. That is always the best. I tried to register a guy who was almost completely nude once. He didn't, just like so.
He was at our Pride event too,
You know that guy. I'm sure there's just one.
I was going to make a joke about making an appearance, but maybe I'll hold that back.
Yeah, I really wanted to be able to say I registered a naked guy, but he wasn't interested in registering at the moment.
He probably didn't have his ID.
He did not. I probably didn't. If he did,
Probably.
might not want to see it. But
Oh, dear.
so Pride events are the best. After that, college campuses are a staple. That's where we go, and we start with community colleges. There was a Pew
interesting.
study
Yeah.
a few years ago that found that 60% of people who are not registered to vote have never been asked. And
Oh, my God.
that's heartbreaking, right? But it's
It
also
is.
right.
Yeah.
And that's where our opportunity is. That's where we help. We ask, and we find that on community colleges there's an income difference than with the richer universities, and the richer kids have generally been asked more. Still worth going, but we start at community colleges, and that's really where we get the best results.
Amazing. Wow.
Then after community colleges, it's places where there's good foot traffic. DMVs can be good. Outside a big library can be good. Outside a courthouse where there's lots of foot traffic can be great.
Wow.
Yeah, and then After that, events, and events. Some events are better than others. A gun show, not so good.
Right.
Any kind of cannabis event, maybe good if it actually happens, and if they didn't cancel it and didn't tell anyone.
Oh my God.
But yeah, ethnic festivals are great. And outdoor events.
Yeah, folk
at
concerts.
parks.
Yeah.
Right. And
Interesting.
yeah,
Outside of theater.
that can be great if there's a lot of foot traffic. Yeah,
Yeah,
pier.
yeah.
If you're near the ocean, a pier,
Pier.
there's lots
Yes,
of people around, can be good.
It never
Lexington
dawned on me
Beach
that there's
Pier.
a lot of foot traffic outside a courthouse, but I guess there is a bunch of people coming and going.
Yeah.
It depends on the courthouse. If there's a superior court in Lancaster, just north of L.A. That is the best place I've ever registered people at.
Wow.
A friend and I, not just anyone. She happens to be the goat of voter registration, Lori Hilberg. She's amazing. She'll follow you home. Just, if she asks you,
That's not a good policy, but okay.
It depends on who it is and what they want.
at a courthouse might be problematic. Yeah. But if she asks you to register, just go limp in the jaws of the cheetah. Don't struggle. Make it worse. Yeah.
Very funny.
But she and I registered something like 56 people in a few hours outside that courthouse once.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a really friendly courthouse. Different places have different vibes that you wouldn't expect.
Or the approach is, if you want to change the laws that you have run afoul of and are visiting this courthouse because of, you should register to vote.
Absolutely. And it turns out you find a lot of those people who have never been asked going in or out of that courthouse, and who are marginalized and who are, exactly like you said, who are targeted by those laws. It's true.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right. So volunteers, how did you amass such a huge base, and do you keep looking for them? I mean, have you grown as far as you can handle, or do you need more?
No, we need about 50,000 more, 100,000, whatever we can get. Yes. So I started. I was a TV writer for 18 years, and then Trump got elected, and it broke my soul, and I needed to change that. So I started as a volunteer and learned how to register Democrats, and it was just after the 2016 election, if you remember, like the after that puny inauguration that no one showed up to. The very next day was like, you want a crowd? Here's a crowd. Here's the biggest day of protest worldwide in history, the Women's March.
Yeah, I was there for that. We drove down we went on a bus from Ottawa. David, were you in a bus? We didn't go
no, I
together.
drove my own car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was an incredible experience. And yes, we heard from all of the cops on the street and the people who were taking down bleachers that our crowd was quite a bit bigger than the day before had been.
Right. Amazing. Yeah, I was here in LA. There were over 500,000 people in the streets, and
yes.
Peaceful. It was peaceful.
Yep.
And it was just showing each other what our strength was in our numbers. And so I went to my first meeting. I was a swing left meeting at the time. It had just popped up, and it was standing room only. And in that room of people who felt as crazy as I did, I felt like, oh, this is the only place I feel sane.
Yeah.
I need more rooms like this. So, so I quit my career, worked with Swing Left, and worked with the California Democratic Party in the lead up to the 2018 midterms, and volunteers joined us, just joined the cause, and learned, and also got addicted to registering Democrats, and saw how effective it was when we helped flip 5 House districts in Southern California in 2018.
Wow.
And so that's when my job with the party ended, right after the midterm elections in 2018, which was routine.
That happens with political jobs.
Yep.
Yeah, it's routine and nuts.
Yes, both of those things, for sure.
Right? So a few weeks later, that's why I started Field Team 6, so that there could be, and we could break the cycle of pain and have an organization that does this all year, every year. No more one-night stands with the voters. Let's fall in love. Let's have a relationship. You know,
Right.
and have some place where you can build institutional knowledge and have it accumulate instead of just throwing it in the garbage every time.
Right.
You know?
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Well, we're just talking about registering people too. You can do that anytime, and I would think when something stupid happens in the news is a great time to register people.
Absolutely, which is every day, of course. Right? So we are responsive. We're nimble. We have social media assets that are updated maniacally, weekly. A week is the longest it takes to update. Sometimes, the same day of a news event, they're updated.
Yeah.
And our messaging responds to whatever's going on and harnesses, those winds to fill our sails with Democrats. Mixing metaphors here. But,
you took us along with you. It was fine.
You're a TV writer, you say. Yeah.
Yeah, TV, not the most exacting of standards.
I suppose that's true.
There's one thing I wanted to make a distinction about. With electoral activism, there's two main branches of that, and there's voter registration and there's GOTV, or getting out the vote.
Yeah.
And right, and so every level of the Democratic Party, from the DNC down to local, and every campaign, and almost all grassroots groups focus on the get out the vote part of it, and that is just the last half of it. The first entire half is democratogenesis, the creation of a new Democrat, the birth of a Democrat. That's what we concentrate on. And there's so few organizations focused on that entire half. So that's the ground that we stake out. And there are even fewer who are doing it in a partisan way on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, they have no problem saying we're here to register Republicans. Democrats sometimes, even the Democratic Party in some states refuses to do partisan voter registration, which is shocking. They're the party.
I can kind of understand it from a candidate's point of view. They're getting up to speed. They have a limited amount of time to do a ton of stuff, and it's easiest to go after the people they know are registered. And that, I guess, is a lot of the success that Stacey Abrams was able to have in Georgia, right? Because she went after people who had never been asked to vote or never been asked to register. But
correct, she registered people over the years.
Over the years, exactly. But you're right. This is something the Democratic Party should be doing.
Yes. So that's where we are. We're trying to be the voice in the wilderness, calling for people to just shift. Not all, and it's not like the world would give up GOTV efforts. That will never happen. But we have a ton there, and that's great. We need to just shift some of the resources, money, and volunteers over to the registration side, and the whole thing will work better. We will win more elections. The young people. Most people know that, they turn out at a rate of about 23 to 27%, something like that. In 2020, among 18 to 24-year-olds who were registered, they voted at a rate of 86%.
Wow.
Right? And in the general population, in a presidential election year, registered voters voted 85%. So it's not just young people. And what that points to is the simple act of registration turns people into super voters. And if we want to win more elections, our greatest weakness is not turnout. It's lack of registered Democrats. Right. That's where we come in.
Wow. So as you are the voice in the wilderness, are people hearing you?
More and more. I mean, you're helping with that. Thank you for that.
It's our pleasure. This is very exciting stuff.
It lights me up. It lights up my world. I mean, and it's so important and effective. So people are hearing it more and more, but I feel like we're the Roots pre Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the Roots, amazing, groundbreaking band that had not gotten huge yet.
Yeah.
So we need to get on Jimmy Fallon.
Absolutely. Don't you have connections from your former career?
You know, not enough. Not enough. Some that are really helping, but you know, they're all adding up. They're all pushing it forward, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and we're doing better each year. We're helping more Democratic voters register each year we're around. In the 22 cycle, we had 13 million people in our database, unregistered, likely Democrats. We were able to reach out to 5 million of them,
Right.
and over 1.6 million registered as Democrats or progressive independents.
Incredible.
So that's a huge rate of return. It was about 1 in 3 of the people we reached out to wound up getting registered. We did not get to reach out to the other 8 million.
Yeah, what do you need to do that? That was my next question. What do you need to be able to reach out to volunteers?
And money.
And money.
Yeah.
It sounds like politics.
Yeah. Yeah. And enough volunteers can replace money, you know?
Right.
And the money can be a shortcut, you know, and just everything we do, since we only have 3 people on paid staff, we make everything as scalable as possible and as automated as possible. Mm-hmm. So that we're looking right now in this cycle for $3 million to register 3 million Democrats. And we've gotten it down to $1 a Democrat. That's the best deal in activism.
Oh my God.
That's pretty efficient.
And it's alliterative too. I'm stuck on
right.
$1 a Democrat.
That's a Democrat. That's
incredible.
What better thing could you put your money into?
Exactly.
But yes, so that you know, we can, if we got that 3 million, we'd know how to spend it right now.
Incredible.
Yeah, texts, emails, buying more data in states that we're new to this cycle,
right?
Like Montana and Ohio. We've bought some data there already, but we need more. Yep. Montana being crucial to saving the Senate. Same with Ohio. Those are the 2 most vulnerable senators. Blue senators, you know, John Tester, who's great, and Sherrod Brown, who's terrific. But in red states who have gone for Trump by huge margins.
Right. Wow. So if somebody wants to help but doesn't know where to begin, what do you say to them?
Oh, they can go to fieldteam6.org. Oh, I live for those words. You're singing my song. They can go to fieldteam6.org and they can look under volunteer ops for all the different ways they can volunteer. They can click the donate button that's right on the front page. That it really is $1 a Democrat. That's what it comes out to. So so they can help in both those ways. We also have volunteer fairs, and there's one coming up in January that they can find under volunteer ops on our site. It's it basically in an hour. We don't believe in Zooms that are more than an hour. That's inhumane.
I was just going to say online, I assume. Yeah, no, agreed.
But so they can come to this volunteer fair, and we go through just a quick intro to postcarding, phone banking, text banking, postcarding. Did I mention that twice?
Yeah, you did, but it's clearly important. Yep.
Wait, what am I missing?
I know I'd rather get a postcard than a phone call. So yeah,
in-person voter drives.
Yeah,
and helping out behind the scenes too. And yeah, we recommend that people grab the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
you know, and the best exercise is the one you'll actually do. So you know, so pick what sounds most fun to you and try it out.
Oh,
And,
I see what you mean. Right. Okay. Yeah. Least resistance in the thing that appeals most, for sure.
Exactly. And then, you know, people come for the cause, but stay for the people.
Yeah, that's true.
I've met the most inspiring, hilarious, you know, soulful people since I've started doing this.
Incredible. And you help candidates too, don't you?
Absolutely. And that is one of the advantages of being partisan. That's one reason there are very, very few partisan voter registration operations, is that if you're not a 501c3,
right,
Almost all of them that exist are C3s, and that means they're legally bound to be nonpartisan.
Right.
What it also means is people can deduct their donations from their taxes. So it's easier for those nonpartisan organizations to exist and raise money. For us, we're 527. That's a PAC. So, and we chose that so that we could be as partisan as we like and have as our mission, register Democrats, save the world.
Wow.
We're not hiding it, you know?
Right.
And the curse is that it's tougher to raise money because your donations are not tax deductible. The blessing is that we can mention candidates' names, and name recognition is half the battle. We can talk about why you should register as a Democrat. We can tell people that Democrats stand for abortion rights and civil rights and LGBTQ plus rights, you know, rescuing the climate, lowering college costs.
Sensible gun control.
Sensible gun control. Exactly. Yup.
Wow.
Yeah. So we definitely, we can not just register them, but say, hey, and remember, please vote for Senator Reverend Warnock.
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, George Whitesides. He's running in the district just north of LA to flip that district from Mike Garcia, who's a terrible balding insurrectionist.
Oh, don't hold his hairlessness against him.
No, I wouldn't bald shame him, except that he's a traitor. That's what you get. You betray the country, make fun of your hair pattern.
These are things that a partisan organization can say.
That's right.
Yes, that's true. Oh, dear. So do you give direct help to candidates, or it's mostly support because you can say their names?
That's what it is. It's the voter drives in their district or in their state to get them elected, and that's you know, we're not allowed to coordinate with a campaign, but you know, so one definition of that, or part of the definition, is that you can't do anything, you know, talk strategy in any non-public facing way.
Got it.
And that's not a problem for us since everything we do is public.
Right.
It's no secret that we want to.
Doesn't sound like it, no.
Wow.
We want everyone to know. The opposite of a secret.
Something being yelled from the rooftops.
That's right.
Yeah.
So John Fetterman, we can talk him up in Pennsylvania. You know,
Right.
Governor Shapiro.
Right.
People we need to reelect, like Senator Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin this cycle.
Yeah, yeah. Now, did we ask where's the name Field Team 6 from?
We didn't ask. Where is it from?
It is, if you didn't get the illusion, you're with about 97% of people.
Oh, no. Now I'm feeling stupid.
No one gets it. It's
No one gets
it. No one gets it at all. But, you know, SEAL Team 6 is the illusion.
SEAL Team.
Because they're the ones who went behind enemy lines and did the impossible. They got bin Laden. So like we go behind enemy lines in these purple districts and states and do the impossible. We're on a search and rescue mission for fellow good-hearted people. You know? Find them.
Yes.
Let them discover that they are Democrats. Register them.
Amazing.
Bring them back alive.
Bring them back alive.
It also comes from in the lead up to the 2018 midterms. There was one group of volunteers, super volunteers. They were the best and remain the best in the world at registering voters. They happened to all be women. They happened to be all but one were 60 and over. And I called them SEAL Team 6 because they were just the elite voter registration squad. And you know, we would have multiple voter drives going on in, you know, 4 different districts in one day. And we call in the numbers at the end, see what we got. And, you know, one group, got 25 people. Hey, that's amazing. Fantastic. Another group got, you know, 31 or 18. And, SEAL Team 6 is calling in. They got 200, what? 38? Like, it's just off the charts. Yeah.
Well, hats off. That's amazing.
They're amazing. That actually points to a huge truth about the progressive movement, in this country that most people don't know, which is that it's vast majority women, and most of them are 60 and up. Those are the people who are actually saving the world, who are doing the work. It's pretty amazing, and their story is not told, so I tell it whenever I can.
That's lovely. Jason, is there anything that you haven't shared with us that you would like people to know?
I would say if you are volunteer curious or donor curious, please check out fieldteam6.org and, sign up for one event or, make a donation, get involved somehow, because this is the fight of our time. This is for all the marbles. And if you're listening to this, you're probably paying attention, and you probably know that we are facing a real and rising fascist threat. The good news is that we have been winning every single election since Trump won in 2016. Every major battle we have won, we are lining up for a huge victory, the huge blue wave victory that we need in 24, and we need your help.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for joining us. It's been a real pleasure and really exciting. I hope it charges up everybody who listens, and that your numbers continue to grow in every possible way.
Me too. Thank you so much. You're wonderful. It's so great to talk to both of you, and thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. I'm Rachel Oigster with David Schellenberg in Ottawa, Canada. Thank you for listening to Democrats Abroad, the Blue Vote Cafe.